Hello everyone. Today I wanted to record a short video where I show you the basics of timing your delays, reverbs and effects units. Not all effects units have these timing functionality. Some of them only have the millisecond. See this delay, for instance, you can only time it to 16th notes with some offset, and then you have the free range. Also, most reverb units have milliseconds in their decay time and pre-delay. Also, when working with compressors, of course, everything is in milliseconds and seconds. And I think it's a good knowledge to have how to translate this into your BPM. All right. So our BPM is 120. So the basic principle to get in milliseconds, obviously, well, it is obvious. Still, you need to first think about it. And there are 60,000 milliseconds of a second, as there are 1,000 milliseconds in 1 second. So we have 120 beats in 1 minute in this project. We divide it by 120. So, whoops, that gives 500 milliseconds per beat. So that's 1/4 note. Okay, that's a bit annoying. Let's see if we can do it like this. Yeah. Yeah. So, 1/4 note. This is 1/4 note. You can see here, quarter. You can change it to 1/8 note, 16th note, 32th note, and then you can't go further, but you can go much further with milliseconds, which is also a cool effect. But I use quarter notes. So this is the Ableton standard 909 kit. I use a hi-hat here, and we will try the default template on the reverb. And you can hear that the decay is longer. So the tail of the reverb is masking the next hi-hat. So to get a cleaner mix, we can apply the 500 millisecond of 1/4 note. And now you see it dies just before the next hit. And that's the basic principle. For the to get whole notes, you have the 500 millisecond, or the division. If you want this to make it a dotted note, you simply multiply it by 1.5, and that's a dotted note. And if you multiply it by 1.667, you get a triplet. I'm planning to make a device that calculates this for you. So you just pop it in here, and then you get a chart for all the whole notes and dotted and triplets, and it automatically measures your BPM. And you can also, of course, enter whatever BPM you want, and then you can just go in and look. But this simple calculation usually does the trick. And we can, of course, also use it for the pre-delay. So let's see, 60,000 divided by 120, and that's 1/4 note. And we can divide it by, let's say, 16. We get 31. We can divide it by 2, 15.62. Okay, let's use that, 15.62. Okay, maybe we want that 31 point. Now you have a rhythmical pre-delay that is timed to your track, so it becomes a rhythmical element to your track. It's always one of the most overlooked features, I think, in reverb is the pre-delay. It's very important to separate your reverb from your main instruments so that you get a clean mix. If the delay starts before your sound has died, it will naturally mask the original sound, which is fine sometimes, but it's a good knowledge to know how to avoid that if you want. And the pre-delay does it. Usually a pre-delay between 10 and 20, well, now 30, but 10 and 20 can give a very big reverb effect. I mean, you don't always want it to be rhythmical, but only dialing in a pre-delay of 10-20 can really make your reverb bigger, even though it's the same settings. So, and then of course we can use it on a delay. So let's see. We can try the, let's say the 31.25. Maybe we want it to go in dotted notes, so we take it times 1.5. Let's see, 46.875. And then we can divide it by 2 perhaps. 23.4375. Let's listen. Maybe we want it to be longer. Let's see, 46.9 and 46.9 times 2, 92.8. Dotted. Nice. And the cool thing with using milliseconds is that you can make more psychedelic modulations of the delay time. As it becomes more continuous, as opposed to using the sync where it only jumps between these quantized points at certain times. Now it slowly moves and you can get kind of like a weird kind of floating effect. And that's basically the whole thing that I wanted to show you. Just knowing about this, you can then start applying it to anything. Anywhere you have a millisecond knob, you can apply this if you want. Of course, you can always use your ears if you want, but sometimes you might have a hard time finding a setting that sounds good. Then using this calculation can make it easier for you to find a setting that works better for your project. And also sometimes you just simply maybe you don't want to use your ears, you just want to set it and forget it. And for instance, this can be a good thing to try on compressors also. See, as you have the release, for instance, maybe you want the release pumping to your track. Especially it can be fun to experiment with different calculations for your sidechain compression release, to have the sidechain pump with your track. But of course it can also be a musical way of using gain reduction to make the gain reduction pump also with your project. And that is the whole thing. I figured I would start recording a bit shorter videos for you to have some inspiration on stuff to try out in your projects, and I wish you the best of luck. Bye.